Jesus said to the thief on the cross, I'm assuming they're saying the good thief, that they would be together in paradise that day. Was there no purgatory for the thief, and was the thief a saint? I mean, obviously, and this is from Peter, I guess, saying, well, obviously he committed some sort of crimes. That's why he ended up on the cross there as well.
Sure.
So how did that work?
Yeah, there's two kinds of contrition that the Council of Trent defined. The first is what's called a perfect contrition, and the second is called an imperfect contrition, right? But if you have an perfect contrition is really done out of love, it's done out of justice, it's done out of a purity of motive, right? An imperfect contrition is done out of fear. And generally, I might fear hell, or fear the loss of heaven, or, fear some kind of punishment, and because of that, I turn and ask for contrition, or I throw myself on the mercy of God. Now, so long as, if we have an imperfect contrition, so long as we intend to go to confession, and we could die, and if we did die, that fear would not manifest a kind of love or attachment that could be redeemable in heaven, if I can put it that way. We might need some additional purification. And so if that thief on the cross it had an imperfect contrition, just did it out of fear, right, there might be some purification that would be necessary. However, in a perfect contrition, and this thief, he's an interesting fellow, because he actually says, look, he says, we deserved what we got. So he admits to the first thief, first he's defending Jesus. He then secondly says, we deserved what we're getting. And so, and he turns to Jesus after he says this. He defends him and shows a kind of a purity of motive. And then after that, he essentially, says, look, I admit I did terrible things. I deserve what I got. Then he turns and he says, remember me when you enter into your kingdom. An act of faith. He's throwing himself on the mercy of God, and he sees something in Jesus that is intrinsically good and worthy of defending. In that case, Jesus judges him right there as having a purity of motive and says, this day you will be with me in paradise. So when you have a perfect contrition, yes, you don't go to purgatory per se. You actually go straight to heaven.
Okay.
And, of course, we feel that this is what happens to our saints,
right.
That they die, and, with perfect contrition. And so once you declare them canonized, right, we're not worried that they're in purgatory. We're asking for their prayers now because we believe they're in heaven with the Lord now.